Well, welcome to the BNI Effect, the podcast dedicated to helping Brisbane BNI members and business professionals achieve success through effective networking strategies. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bringing you insightful interviews and expert advice to help elevate your networking game and ultimately grow your business. This is episode number 7, and today's guest is Madalina Eisenstat. Welcome, Madalina.
Thank you, Tony.
How are you going?
It's good to be here. I'm good. A little nervous, as I mentioned, because it's my first podcast, but let's see how it's going to go.
Good on you. Well, firstly, thank you for doing this. Recognise that it's not something that you're used to doing, but good on you for doing it. I'm looking forward to spending the next little while learning a bit more about you and your business. So why don't we start there? So tell me a little bit about your business.
My business is ME Migration, and we're specialized in the immigration services, of course. Our main focus is on employer-sponsored visa, but we also help people navigate the immigration system when it comes to partner visa, citizenship application, or other individual applications. As a background, I have a background in law, of course. I hold a Bachelor of Law from the University of Bucharest in Romania, and I also have a graduate diploma in Australian migration law and practice from Victoria University in Melbourne. I have over 17 years of legal experience as a litigation lawyer in Bucharest, Romania, and over 5 years as a migration agent in Australia. So, what I bring to people looking for immigration advice is a little bit of both worlds, I have that lawyer's approach, but kind of with the migration agent fees.
And is there specific countries that you work with, Madalina?
No, I actually love to work with everybody because one of my hobbies is traveling and exploring different cultures, and I love, learning about everyone's culture and where they come from, and understand even the education system and everything else. So I have clients from all over the world.
Fantastic. And how long have you been in business for?
In June, 6 years.
Right. Fantastic.
This June I'm going to be, yes.
Okay, and so you originate from Romania, is that right?
Yes.
And how long have you been in Australia for?
For 8 years.
Right. So in Australia for 8 years, and then 6 years ago, you decided to get involved in your own immigration business.
Yes, because we came to Australia. My husband got an offer from University of Queensland, and we say, why not? Let's see that part of the world. And initially, I really enjoyed, spending time with my children and having a break from all the madness that I've left behind. But then I needed a challenge. And I had some inquiries from some friends about immigration law in Australia, and I started to do some research. And then I was thinking, why not do this? So this is how I enrolled. I did the course, and then I registered as a migration agent.
Good on you. And so how and when were you introduced to BNI?
I was actually at a children's birthday party, and after I registered, I used to work in a migration agency, and I wasn't very happy. So I was thinking maybe I should start something on my own, but I was very stressed that I don't know anybody. So I was new to Australia. I was a foreigner. And I was talking to some moms, and one of the moms said, why don't you come to my networking group? And we have breakfast, and we talk business, and we learn from each other. And I was thinking, actually, this is what I need. So this is how I ended up going to one of the meetings of the B2B. And I found it actually quite interesting. And I love the welcoming, and the friendships, and I love the culture of the chapter. And I was thinking, I think this is the marketing that I want to do. So I joined BNI.
Great.
in
And so
2019.
right. So that was what, 5 years ago?
Yes, big
Excellent.
anniversary in August.
And how have you found the last 5 years in BNI?
Wonderful, to be very honest. I feel like I grew so much as a business person. And it's not just the business that grew. I feel like I grew more than my business as a business person. I learned so much. I mean, BNI is much more than, referrals and money. It's actually building relationship, friendships. I love the social part. Like, we have the best parties. And it helped me a lot. So for instance, I learned about grants. I had no idea that, about the governmental grants. I applied for a grant and I got it. And when COVID hit and the borders were closed, of course, I didn't have any work or less work. And the support that I received from this wonderful group of people was absolutely fantastic. So I love that everybody's so positive. And to be honest, I think what really kind of pushed me to join BNI was the principle, the giver's gain, because I really believe in this compensation law. Like, I think that the more you give, the more you receive. So, so BNI to me, it's so far it's been wonderful.
And so just for those who are listening who aren't familiar with BNI, so just explain for me the whole giver's gain principle.
Well, from my point of view, for instance, the way I see it, and this is how I saw it all my life, it's if I give, in BNI, if you give business to somebody, you will receive business. But I think it's also a life principle, like, for instance, we see so many organizations, foundations trying to help people and giving to the community, so charities and everything. So I think it's kind of the same. Those people give and receive much more in return. And it's not just financial. It's not that just the financial part. You receive everything. So from my point of view, for instance, when I joined BNI, I was actually a little scared that I'm not going to be a good member because I didn't have the network. I joined BNI to build my network. And I was thinking, I won't be able to refer to anybody. I don't know if I'm going to be able to give in order to receive. So I started to give positivity, and joy, and this is how I started. But little by little, I think it's very important when you're in BNI to listen. And when you have these one-to-ones and people talk to you and they say, this is what I want for my business. And for instance, I had a one-to-one with one of our members recently, and he said, I think I want to have a partnership with a cybersecurity person. And I said, oh, I know the perfect person. So little by little, I don't know, I had friends at school, moms at school who had, I don't know, electrical problems. So I was able to refer them to an electrician, or they needed a mortgage broker or a real estate agent. And I started like this. And to be very honest, now I have friends asking me, oh, you know everybody. Where can I find a good electrician? So I moved from nothing to, being the person that knows everybody. It's true that I'm like a social butterfly and I like to do the networking and I like to go and meet people. But so this is giver's gain. And I'll be very honest, at the beginning, I didn't receive much business, but I was fine because I was getting something else in return. I was getting a lot of education about, how to, invaluable information about how to run your business, how to be more strategic, about processes, things that I've never think about it before, and I own my own law firm in Romania, but looking now back, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I could have been much more successful if I would have had all these tools, So it's like, in a way, like a business school combined with some therapy and fun for me,
So what you're saying is, as well as being networking, that BNI offers a whole range of resources and tools to help members out. Because you mentioned, Madalina, that at the start you were very unsure as to what you'll be able to bring to the chapter. So just talk me through what are some of these resources that you're referring to?
For instance, BNI has this platform called BNI Business Builder. So it started, I think it was BNI University at the beginning, and then it moved to this Business Builder. So what this platform does is they have all kinds of courses. They have many courses about leadership. They have courses about becoming a better salesperson. And I learned so much about sales. I've never thought that I'm going to be so good at sales, So but it also has podcasts. So you listen from your peers, what they've been through and how they become successful, and how they, how their business is so successful today, and how they started when they started in BNI, they didn't have anything almost, and all of a sudden they have like $1 million business. So I learn a lot from these people and from the podcast. I also, because sometimes in the meetings, members come and say, oh, there is this grant, Queensland government is offering this money. So it's all kind of information, it's not just a meeting. And I think sometimes people come to a BNI meeting or even join, stay for a couple of months and say, oh no, it's not for me, but they didn't even understand how much BNI offers and all these tools. This platform, for instance, BNI Business Builder, also has, I don't remember how it's called, but I think you can go and advertise yourself to the other members, and it's open internationally. So for me, for instance, it's absolutely excellent because I already have a partnership with a lawyer in the UK, so if I have somebody asking me, I need a visa for the UK, I know where I send that person. And if he has an inquiry about Australian visa, he sent them to me. I also built a relationship with the lawyer from Spain, and so I think it's very good at building these international relationships, not just national. I have good relationships with members who are in Melbourne or Adelaide or Perth. So it's something that would require much more effort otherwise, even if you go on social media, it's not going to be so easy, because once you're in BNI, you're kind of endorsed. You're in BNI, me too. Let's talk. Let's have a one-to-one. Let's talk. So I think this is what I see the value.
Yeah, it's amazing that BNI is in 70 plus countries, and as you've shared, that you have a number of connections through BNI. Madalina, you were also sharing with me off air that BNI has helped you from a personal development point of view and speaking in front of your group and learning some public speaking skills as well.
Yes, so I was terrified when I joined BNI because English is my second language, and I always have this frustration that I have an accent and people won't understand what I'm saying. And at the same time, because of the legal background, all the time, I want to make sure that what I'm saying is grammatically correct. So joining this professional networking group helped me improve my public speaking, and gave me more confidence to do this networking, in a foreign country. I think it's difficult for all of us to go and, go in a group of people and start to discussion or try to build a relationship or, get some business from somebody in your own language. Imagine if you would go now, I don't know, to Spain, and you have to do this in Spanish, So yes, from this point of view, it helped me a lot, because every week, I would have to stand up for 60 seconds and speak. And at the beginning, it was difficult. But again, the members were so supportive, and they gave me all kind of tips and how to do it and how to manage to stay in those 60 seconds. So yeah, that's why I think that I became a much better person than I used to be, a business person.
Yeah, outstanding. That's a great example, Madalina. How do you measure your success in BNI?
I think I have my personal success as a business person, and I just talked about it. I improved my public speaking, but also I built a very strong network. And also financially, I think that my business grew. For instance, when I started BNI, I was a sole trader, and I was very happy with this. And I remember I was talking to the accountant in our group, John Postle, and he said, your mind is going to change when you have a company, because you're going to think as a business person and not as much as a sole trader and individual. And I had no idea what he means. It's like, what do you mean? I'm the same. And he was right. He was right, because the minute that I set up the company, I started to think differently, more business oriented, and less, I'll help this person because anyway, like, it's just 1 hour of my time, I have time. And then you start to think, no, I don't have time, this is billable time. So it's very different. So from this point of view, yes, it grew, and my business grew financially as well. I don't know exactly I couldn't say give you some numbers, because but yes, it's substantially grew.
Significant growth. And
yes,
you talked about, you've had growth, whether it be professionally, whether it be from a business point of view, or it be personally. So it's all been growth in the last 5 years since you've been a part of BNI. What advice would you give to new BNI members to make the most out of their membership?
Be patient, visit other chapters, and don't expect that everything is going to happen in that 1 hour and a half, 90 minutes during the meeting. It's much more. You have to go outside of your chapter and meet other members, and make sure that you follow the power of one, basically. Because if you have a meeting per week with another member, most likely you're going to find a referral. And if you invite somebody to the chapter, you're going to see that it helps the other members, and it makes you feel good as well. So I think the most important thing is to be patient and not to expect that things are going to happen like this. BNI works very well, but you have to use all the resources and the tools.
How can listeners learn more about you and your business and get in touch with you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, so it's my name, Madalina Eisenstat, and also on my website, memigration.com.au.
Excellent. Hey, we've come to the end of the podcast. Now, you said to me at the start that you were a bit nervous about how you go. How do you feel now?
I feel like I just had a friendly chat with a friend, so yeah, I actually liked it. I thought I'm going to be a little more nervous, but I guess once I start to talk about it, it's just, it becomes easier.
You did exceptionally well. You know what else? Something that you said when you're talking about BNI Business Builder is you said that one of the things that you like to do is learn from your peers. Well, now we've got a podcast all about you, and so we can now learn from you, with your example, your stories and your suggestions and advice. So, I'm excited for you that we've now created that for you.
Yeah, I feel like BNI is kind of a mini mentoring business group. I don't know. For me, it worked very well, and I'm sure for many others.
Excellent. Thanks, Madalina. We'll really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, that wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. We hope that you enjoyed today's discussion and want to extend a massive thank you to Madalina Eisenstat for sharing her insights with us. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the BNI Effect on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners like you. So until next time, keep networking, keep growing, and remember, your success is our priority here at the BNI Effect. Thanks for listening.